welcome to this tutorial on the level staking with Flare for Excel. I suggest if you haven't looked at the one on the cloud above, have a look at that one as well as this one because some parts are very similar, or most parts are very similar. So when you first open up, you've got your registered copy of the Excel. You'll see when you open it, down the bottom, there is 8 level staking tabs. So there's 8 work tabs that you can work with. And we also have an index tab, which takes you to a quick reference index. So while we can't change the headers down here, you can, in the description, create this here, a description reference, which will show up here names. So you can call it like the Australian races or the UK races. And whatever you call that worksheet, say like worksheet 2, we've called UK races, well, then we've got it here. It just means if you're jumping from one to the other and you're not sure which one is, say, for the Australian races, you can see here that tab 1 is. So this is editable, these aren't. And up here, you put the name. So if we go to level stake 4, there's no name in there. So you may put UK dogs or whatever is there. So that's on level stake 4. So you'd come back to level stake 4 here and put UK dogs. It's just a quick reference. It's things that we've been asked for from other spreadsheets. So we've incorporated for the first time in this one. Okay, so we've got level stake 1. Now I've got this down here at 69%. I use a little slider just so I can fit it in the camera for you. But normally you'd be running it at 100%. So just go back to 69. Okay. So first of all, when you open your whatever level staking tab you're going to use, so we just open this one here. There's no horses in here or dogs in here at the moment. First thing you'll notice though is see the colours there, they go down to line 21 and then there's no more. What happens is to keep the memory and all that of the computer, not your memory, most efficient, we just do 10 rows at a time. So once we get down to row 21 here, we just push add 10 more rows and 10 more rows will appear for us. Okay, so that's so just remember, if you run out of rows, just push the 10 rows. So first of all, you've got the starting bank. Well, in this case, we'll just use a 200 starting bank, and I just want you to have a look at, you put in 200 as the starting bank, and if we go down here, we can see here, for some reason, we've got reserve bank at 100 and operating bank at 100. That is because in the conservative nature of level staking, what we've done with the start bank is we've split it in 2. So we've got a reserve bank and an operating bank. And when we've got the base bet of 2, that bet will only come out of operating bet total as we go. So I'll just show you back here. You can see there that all the bets here are coming off operating bet here, and you can see there the reserve is not changing. That stays the same unless 2 things happen. Unless your operating bank, your start operating bank of 100 gets down to 50%, which would be $50, then that is added to the reserve bank. So 50 and 100 is 150, and we would divide that by 2. So then our new bank would be a reserve of 75 and an operating bank of 75, and you would probably maintain your level staking at 2. This does not change for such time as you decide to change up there. If you're going to change up there, I suggest that you start a new session, because that goes against what level staking is. If this operating bank gets to 100%, so it goes from 100 to 200, then that is added to the reserve bank. So 200 and 100, giving you 300, divided by 2 is 150 in a reserve, and your operating bank would start again at 150. Okay, so it's giving you preservation of your funds. So let's just go back to level stake 1, level stake 2. So the base bet is how much are you going to bet? In this series, we're going to be betting $2, and as it's level staking, all of our bets will be $2. And then the commission, if you're betting with bookies, then you leave it at 0. If you're in Australia, I suggest you use 8. and then you can change that. You can change that in the column down here in commission. Say if you're betting and you go to New Zealand where it's only maybe 6% commission, then you can override it down here. Okay, or if it's New South Wales, which is 10% commission, you can put it in here. Then we have the name, and you can name what is this work, what is level staking 2 going to be, and we'll say, just for the example, UK races. And as I said before, then we go into index and we make sure that level 2 has got UK races. So our quick reference, our ready reference can just take us straight, tell us which work tab to go to. Okay, so we've got it all set up now and we are ready to go. Okay, so the first time we come, we just put in the date. Now I suggest that you put the date in for each race because you can save, obviously you're saving this in Excel and you can copy and paste this into another Excel and you can do research, etc. And look at how your selections are going. And you might want to edit it to make a research paper. So what happens is you put the reference, you put the details in. This is UK races, so you're looking at around 5% or less. So if your commission is less, you can put it in there. And we put the price of the horse. This one is at 280. And now we can either just jump to another level. We might want to go to some Australian racing and then come back later on when we know the result of the Lingfield 2 o'clock. Once you know the result, it's as simple as a win or loss. In this case, we make it a win. You can see now our chart starts to form here, and it's a big blue brick. And it tells us that it is the value is $3.42 or £3.42, and we can see that here, our profit and loss. And as it is our first bet, as it is our very first bet, I'll just try and move this across. The running total is the same, obviously, as the profit and loss. So you just go through and fill in the races as they come along. You can leave the race and come back. If the race is not going to be run for another 2 or 3 hours, you can go onto a different work tab, then come back later once you know the result. This chart will continue. If I just go to level 1, I've already done, you can see the chart continues as you progress. So you have a nice record, visual record of how you are going. You've got summaries here of how many bets, the total that you've outlaid, your win rate, your overall profit and loss, and your return on investment. So it's a very good record to keep, for keeping records. And as I said, if you want to do research, you can actually go and add more rows, like I said. And the more rows you add, you can actually cut and paste some of your old results if you want to, and copy and paste them into this Excel, so you can get the graphs and you can get the summaries. So that's a thing you can do, is some research on it. We have a help button which will take you back to this video, and we also have a reset button which will reset the data in here. It won't change it up here, but it could clear the data out here if you like. Now with the Excel, you can make as many copies of this license sheet, but it will only run on the computer that it's licensed to. Okay, so that is the Excel version of level staking with Flare. If you want to just jump up and watch the cloud version, you may pick up a little bit more, something that I may have missed here. But this operating bank, reserve bank, bet, and profit and loss, and return on investment, these columns here are all auto updated, so you don't need to touch them. These are the only from the win, loss, price, commission, name, event, and date are the only things you need to edit. this here, the number of bent is also auto-filling. Okay, so thanks for watching this tutorial, and I hope you have a lot of fun with level staking with Flare. Thank you.